With the vast amount of talent in today's NBA game, having a big three is basically an essential requirement if you want to realistically contend for an NBA title. Today, I'm going to be breaking down and ranking the 10 best big threes going into the 2023 NBA playoffs, using a combination of both traditional and advanced stats, as well as the eye test and common sense, because if you look at it purely from a stats point of view, it'll tell you that the best big three in the league, as per net rating, is Domantas Sabonis, Kevin Huerter, and Terrence Davis, which we know the latter two guys there have no business being a part of any big three. So before you guys talk any shit about my rankings in the comment section, just keep in mind that a lot of these rankings are very, very close, and there'd be a very good argument for swapping pretty much any of these teams, especially those ranked from 8 to 2. So if you do enjoy the video, I would really appreciate it if you can hit that like and subscribe button to help my channel grow, so I can get those sweet views from the YouTube algorithm. But without further ado, let's kick things off with my honorable mention, the LA Clippers with Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and either Westbrook, Terrence Mann, or Ivica Zubac. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George have a record of 24-14 this season when playing together, which is equivalent to a 63% win percentage, which over the course of a full season is good for second in the West. The main issue here is that the duo can't stay healthy for the love of God, and there's no clear-cut third member of that big three who doesn't drag them down as a trio. And after all, this video is ranking big threes, not big twos, because if it was, then Kawhi and Paul George would be right up there at the top. So, look, whether you put Westbrook, Mann, or Zubac, you can definitely argue that these guys definitely belong in the top 10. I'm not saying that they don't, it's just not on my list personally. Kicking things off at number 10, I've got the Sacramento Kings big three of De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, and Harrison Barnes, with a plus 4.1 net rating over 70 games played. Advanced stats actually don't really favor De'Aaron Fox very well, but nobody's going to tell you that Keegan Murray, Malik Monk, or Kevin Huerter should be the third member of this big three. The Kings overall deserve a lot of love and a lot of respect for securing that third seed in a very competitive Western Conference and surpassing all expectations, because if you told me that would have a better record going into the season than the Lakers, Clippers, and Warriors, I would have said you're out of your fucking mind. So obviously in terms of pure talent and star power, the Kings don't stack up anywhere near the rest of this list, and their success, should and deservedly be largely credited to head coach Mike Brown. You need to be both great on both ends of the floor to be an elite big three, and the Kings fall short in that regard, as well as obviously the lack of star power, which is why I have them at number 10 on this list. At number 9, I've got the Cleveland Cavaliers with Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Jarrett Allen, with a plus 10.9 net rating over 48 games played. Advanced stats seem to all favor Jarrett Allen over Evan Mobley, despite people thinking Mobley's a better player overall, as Allen has the advantage in plus minus, net rating, rebound percentage when on the floor, and true shooting percentage. Caris LeVert, meanwhile, does actually have a slight edge in net rating over Jarrett Allen with a plus 11.3. However, for the purposes of this video, because I am taking into consideration on-court fit, I do think obviously a big man who is able to cover for the defensive deficiencies of Mitchell and Garland is a lot more fitting, I should say, as a third ball dominant scorer such as Caris LeVert. Number 8, the Memphis Grizzlies with Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, and Jaren Jackson Jr., with a plus 12.5 net rating over 28 games played. Ja Morant, firstly, is one of, if not the most exciting players today, and a top 5 to 7 point guard in the league, depending on how you rank him compared to guys like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Trae Young. Desmond Bane, meanwhile, is one of the most underrated players in the league, and I think is excelling as a second option next to Ja, whilst Triple J is the front runner for DPOY and one of the most versatile defenders in the league, perfectly complementing and covering up for Ja's shortcomings on the defensive end. Number 7, the LA Lakers with LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and D'Angelo Russell, with a plus 14.6 net rating over 7 games played. The Lakers are 6-1 with their big three, with the only loss coming against the Clippers on a back-to-back. Obviously, the sample size is extremely small with this big three, but when you look at their playstyles and how well they've already meshed on the court together, and it's clear that this trio is as legit as it comes. A healthy LeBron and Anthony Davis is not to be fucked with, even with a 38-year-old LeBron and the current Anthony Davis, who has shown that he is a legit top 5 player when locked in. Throw in D'Angelo Russell, who complements the duo extremely well with his ability to play off the ball and shoot, run the pick and roll very effectively with Anthony Davis, and act as a secondary ball handler, and he's as good as a third wheel as you can find without taking away LeBron and AD's effectiveness. Coming in at number 6, I've got my Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Derek White, with a plus 11.8 net rating over 57 games played. I think I can speak for all Celtics fans when I say that individually, Derek White has outplayed Marcus Smart this season and is deserving of this third spot in the big three, and now the advanced stats are saying the same thing as well. The Tatum Brown Smart trio net rating drops to plus 4.8 and the plus minus drops to a plus 1.7. The team's 3-point percentage, assist percentage, and assist to turnover ratio are all also better with Derek White as the third member of the big three. Don't get me wrong, Marcus Smart is very much one of the most important players for the Celtics. However, Derek White is just one of those players who can seamlessly fit alongside any superstar duo with his ability to play on and off the ball. You need him to drop 20 points when you're missing half your team, he can definitely do that. You need him to just play great defense and take charges when you got your star duos, he can definitely do that too. The Celtics Big 3 ranking is a bit lower, seeing as the Celtics are a very, very well-rounded team with excellent depth, led by one of the best duos in the league, rather than having a bona fide third Big 3 member, because you can chuck in Derek White, Marcus Smart like I mentioned, Al Horford, Robert Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, whoever it may be. Number 5, the Philadelphia 76ers with Joel Embiid, James Harden, and Tyrese Maxey, with a plus 9.5 net rating over 40 games played. This one is actually a lot closer than some people may think in terms of that third member of the big three, between Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris actually has a higher plus minus with Embiid and Harden at plus 5.3. However, the trio with Maxey has a slight edge in almost all the other advanced stats. Embiid is the most dominating center in the league, and Harden is a perfect pick and roll dance partner for him. Overall, I don't think Maxey is actually the best fit on paper due to his lack of size and defense, which is why the 76ers actually started DeAnthony Melton for a good chunk of the season. But overall, he's still their third best player, and because the 76ers don't have the deepest bench or another bona fide big three member, he gets the nod over here. Number 4, the Phoenix Suns with KD, Devin Booker, and CP3 with a plus 15.3 net rating over 8 games played. First and foremost, the Suns are 8-0 when KD plays. They're undefeated. KD is the most gifted scorer in the history of the game. Devin Booker is the top 2 or 3 shooting guard, and CP3, even though at a soon-to-be 38 years of age, is one of the best point guards in the league. And in a 7-game playoff series, despite his history of choking and injuries and all that kind of stuff, I think I'd rather have him instead of guys like Ja Morant, Trae Young, or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Although I think those guys are the better overall players, I'd rather have CP3 at the point of my team. Kicking off the top 3, at number 3, I've got the Denver Nuggets with Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Aaron Gordon, with a plus 14.9 net rating over 54 games played. I'm not exaggerating when I say anyone, and I mean anyone, playing alongside Nikola Jokic on the floor is guaranteed to have an insane plus minus and net rating. And I mean, even myself, if I was to jump on the floor right now with the Joker, I think I'd be doing pretty well as well in terms of the advanced stats. So if you look at the roster overall, I think Aaron Gordon gets the nod over Michael Porter Jr. here, seeing as he is the better overall fit alongside Jokic and Murray with his defense and versatility. And I think if you ask most Nuggets fans, they'd probably tell you that Aaron Gordon has been the overall better player in comparison to MPJ this season as well. So this one's quite straightforward. And so coming in at number 2, I've got the Golden State Warriors with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green with a plus 6.9 net rating over 46 games played. And this is why advanced stats aren't everything, because a plus 6.9 net rating in comparison to some of the net ratings in this video is not very good. Andrew Wiggins might just be the most underrated player in the entire NBA if you look purely at advanced stats, as well as how seamlessly he fits into the Warriors system. But although all the numbers point to Wiggins being the better fit and more appropriate Big 3 member than both Klay and Draymond, I just have to keep the OG Big 3, seeing as they've won 4 championships together and their chemistry is unparalleled. They could probably beat my Thursday night team if they were playing together blindfolded. And so there's not much to really explain here. You know, even if Draymond isn't the 2016 Draymond and Klay isn't the same defender as he was pre-ACL and Achilles, these guys will go down easily as one of the best Big 3s of all time. And, you know, although they're probably slightly past their prime, they're still pretty fucking good. And so overall, the Warriors Big 3 is very good, but they just, in my opinion, don't stack up to the number 1 team, the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, and Drew Holiday, with a plus 8.0 net rating over 23 games played. I think the Bucks Big 3 is quite clearly the best Big 3 in the entire NBA. They won in 2021, and a healthy Middleton may have helped the Bucks to a title last season as well, but shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? And so, Drew Holiday is in my opinion, the best third option of all the big threes in this list, and you can make a genuine argument that he's actually the second best player in this team over Middleton, given that Middleton's still working his way back into the rotation. He hasn't really looked like, you know, the Chris Middleton we all know this entire season, whereas Drew Holiday has just been straight out killing it. And so advanced stats this season aren't as favorable for this big three because, like I mentioned, Middleton has been in and out of the lineup. He's played 19 games as a starter and 14 games coming off the bench. And so for comparison's sake, last regular season, when Middleton was healthy, the trio had a plus 4.9 plus minus and a plus 11.1 net rating. And so I have these guys at number one because overall, they're still very much in their prime. They're fucking legit. They're great on both ends of the floor, and they really have no flaws. That pretty much rounds up my top 10 big threes going into the playoffs. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching the video. Make sure to like or dislike and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.